One sec. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. British newspaper publishes article on the Holy Arba'een pilgrimage by Iraqi writer. Holy city of Karbala prepares to hold 3rd International Kawthar al-Isma Festival. French Muslims concerned about the actions of extreme right-wing groups against Muslims. Mazar al-Sharif based office of Grand Ayatollah Shiraz continues its humanitarian activities. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from London only on Imam Hussein TV 3. Article written by Iraqi writer Mustafa al-Husseini entitled Unifying Humanity Through Arba'een, Embracing Diversity and Shared Values, addresses the role of the Blessed Arba'een pilgrimage in achieving human communication and unifying the different heavenly religions under one banner, whose slogan is the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. In the article, the writer reviews the reasons how the Holy Arba'een succeeded in attracting believers from diverse religious backgrounds around the world to the holy city of Karbala. In an exclusive interview with Shia Waves agency, Mr. Al-Hussein expresses happiness over the international interaction towards his article, saying that it is a pleasure for him that the voice of Imam Hussein alayhi salam travels through the world, creating such effective and influential communication on international platforms. The holy city of Karbala is preparing to host the 3rd International Kawthar al-Isma Festival, which is being held in honor of Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam. Ali Kadhim Sultan, head of the festival's celebrations department at the Imam Hussein Holy Shrine, said in a press statement followed by Shia Waves agency that the International Festival of Kawthar al-Isma is being held for the 3rd consecutive year on the occasion of the blessed birth of Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam. He also added that the festival will be held on January the 2nd of 2024, explaining that there are participations from more than 30 countries and more than 100 figures from the world countries in various specializations. He pointed out that the festival includes an art exhibition displaying Arabic calligraphy, plastic art, design a specialized library for what has been written about Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam, as well as Quranic and poetry evenings. The president of the French Council of Muslim Faith called on the French Muslims to be vigilant against any abuse by the far-right currents of the deadly attack of a Frenchman of Iranian origin in Paris on Saturday night. Mohammed Moussaoui pointed out that the tragic attack on foreign tourists can be used as a tool to de-escalate tensions and stigmatization by the supporters of the extreme right-wing anti-immigrant currents. Moussaoui also advised each Muslim to systematically register their complaints if they are victimized, urging them not to ignore any threat, insult or defamation. To discuss this further, we have Sheikh Mohammed Sirus live with us from Canada.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. What have been the reactions to this terrorist attack in French media and political circles?
Well, basically, the French medias are really trends to always condemn immigration and Muslims. It has been going on since the post-colonial history of Algeria. Basically, any events that's occurred from a Muslim been emphasized on the media. So this event is the best tool for the medias to exaggerate and also take over other medias in France.
What more information has been published about this terrorist of Iranian origin?
Well, this person come from a family in Azerbaijan, and well, they immigrated in France about 25 to 30 years ago. They lived in south of France. They became French about 25 years ago. So the person, Arman, that his original name was Iman, born in 1997. He grew up in, in a suburb of France, of Paris. He grew up there. In 2015, he joined ISIS. So he come from a secular family. Shia, but he decided to, join ISIS ideology and Takfiri ideology against the Shia. In 2016, he's been arrested by the French authorities. He has been flagged by the intelligence services. The Ministry of Interior of France was very worried about his extremism point of view against Shia and against Christians. So he has been jailed in 2016 for 5 years sentence because he was plotting to kill someone. And he was released not long ago, maybe less than a couple years ago. And upon the release, he had to follow up with facility because he had some mental breakdown, and it seems that he's not really understanding many issues in life. So he had to take some medication. But, many people who have this type of extremism ideology, they are flagged. So they have been, they have to follow up with authorities. And basically, this Daesh person wanted to do something big. So this is how he decided to make noise and to kill, unfortunately, some people.
Including the perpetrator, how many people have been identified as Islamist terrorists in France, and why are these people not arrested?
All right. So how it works in France, we have two types of a flag system. So we call it Fichier S, which is a file of people that they have to be under surveillance. But we have a second type, which is a little bit more targeted for religious extremism. So they work together in parallel. So yeah, in total, we have about over 30,000 people who are flagged in France. Out of the 30,000, maybe 1/3 are viewed as religious extremism. So either they are working or very active for ISIS or for Hezbollah. So these people, because the country is a rule of law, so there is no much they can do except just controlling and doing surveillance of these people. So unless they have information that they might do something criminal, they cannot arrest them. At the same time, the right wing are taking advantage of that issue in order to show that to the people that Muslims are barbaric and the immigration is not a good thing in France. But this is just a political, debate inside France. The election are coming up. Maybe over a couple years, so they are working a lot to just show Muslim as barbarian and not civilized and not comfortable to live in France. You have to remember that France has more than 10% of Muslim. It's a huge community, and they are doing the best for the French economy, for the development in all aspect of the country. But unfortunately, there are some groups that don't recognize that, and they just take advantage of this, small criminal events, and to emphasize, over other event. We have a lot of Islamophobic, event in Paris that just came yesterday from Paris. I'm back in Vancouver now, and I can realize that in general, the French people are very open-minded, but the media are working a lot to put people against each other and to make a big deal for a smaller thing. But for that terrorist attack, unfortunately, that event is a big event. I'm not saying it's a small event, but the media are taking advantage to change the narrative and to put it in a different way. You have to understand that when you live in Paris as a Muslim, you will face the consequences of discrimination. You will have no issue to rent a very nice apartment. You have to live outside the city. For a job is the same thing. It's not because of your appearance, but your name and your background. So, of course, when you live outside the city and you feel excluded, especially when you have a little bit mental issues, things like this might happen really easily.
That was with us, Sheikh Mohammed Siruz, live from Vancouver. Thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's headlines. British newspaper publishes article on the Holy Arba'een pilgrimage by Iraqi writer. The holy city of Karbala prepares to hold the 3rd International Kawthar al-Isma Festival. French Muslims concerned about the actions of extreme right-wing groups against Muslims. Also tonight, Imam Hussein charity fundraising campaign, prophetic voyage. The office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Afghanistan's Mazar al-Sharif has confirmed the continuation of the humanitarian activities in the city. According to Today, a statement released, the office said that the humanitarian assistance and activities are continuing to be delivering into the disadvantaged and orphan families in Mazar al-Sharif and other Afghan cities. It also added that the recently office, in cooperation with the Mustafa Cultural Organization, distributed sacrificial meat to needy families in honor of hastening the honorable reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif. And now continue with some short news. The Engineering and Technical Projects Department at Imam Hussein Holy Shrine announced the continuation of work on the project of the courtyard of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam, which is in the second phase of the expansion project of the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The supervisor of the project, Haidar Abdul Mun'im, said in a statement to the official website that the wall of the courtyard is 40 meters deep underground and is considered one of the most important stages to prevent groundwater and soil collapse. He indicated that it is hoped that in mid-2024, the second phase of the project will begin, stressing that the project comes to provide worship spaces and service areas for visitors, where the built-up area of the courtyard is 100,000 square meters. The aftermath of the heavy rainfall on Sunday night resulted in devastating floods in northern Tanzania, killing 49 people and injuring more than 85 others in the Manyara region. Officials confirmed on Monday. Search and rescue operations are underway in the Manyara region as authorities fear some bodies might be trapped in the mud, expecting the death toll to rise as some people are still missing. The Somali National Army, or the SNA, on Sunday morning killed 60 Al-Shabaab militants and wounded several others in joint operations near Halgan town in central Somalia, the government said. The operation targeted members of the Sunni extremist terrorist group and their commanders who are regrouping to attack areas in central Somalia, the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism said in a statement issued in the capital Mogadishu. Islamic State militants claimed responsibility for a deadly bombing at a Catholic mass in the Philippines on Sunday that killed at least 4 people and injured 50 others. The attack was carried out in a university gymnasium in Marawi, a city in the south of the country besieged by Islamist militants for the 5 months in 2017. Scientists have developed a laser camera equipped with AI, quantum, and technologies that can read a person's heartbeat from a distance and identify cardiovascular illness symptoms. This breakthrough technology has the potential to reduce stereophobes and transform the way we monitor our health. The developers say it could be set up in shopping malls for quick heartbeat readings or installed in homes as part of a system to monitor various health parameters. The device uses high-speed cameras and a laser beam directed to the throat to detect minute movements of the skin caused by blood flow. Imam Hussein Charity has many campaigns aiming to fundraise for the underprivileged in the Middle East and Asia. One of those campaigns is the Prophetic Voyage, aimed at engaging communities with charity by providing a donation in return. Sees Mullah Ali Fadl attend that centre to conduct an interactive and engaging storytelling sessions aimed at young children. The event, a success so far, has seen to be the Prophetic Voyage conducted in 4 previous centres, with further bookings in the next few months. More details in the following report.
Ammu Ali, or they tell the young boy about everything that happened in their lives. Okay, some things might be a bit scary, so be careful. Some things are quite happy. Some things are quite loud. Some things that the prophets tell the young boy could be very interesting. However, it's all about understanding some of the lives of the prophets and what they gave and what they had to go through in order to do what? Can anyone tell me one of the main roles of a prophet?
Today I attended Imam Hussein Charity's Prophetic Voyage hosted at Haydri Children's Library. It was a phenomenal event. The children all loved it. The stories that Brother Ali told were amazing. He captivated the audience. And I think all the children were overall really happy. Well done to Imam Hussein Charity.
So all of these animals, 2 by 2, went onto the ark. And then they were saved. The people were drowning and they looked towards the ark of Prophet Nuh. Prophet Nuh said, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I can bring you on. They said, never, we're never going to believe in Allah. We're going to swim towards this island. And they swam toward this island. But when they went on this island, the flood grew and grew. More rain fell. Pata.
So today I learned about the story of all the prophets, or most of the prophets, and how they lived. And it was really fun, and Ali Fadl was speaking really enthusiastic.
When he left the last one up high, the people came in to do their morning prayers, or whatever they used to do, and they came in and they saw some rubble on the ground, and more rubble, and rubble, and rubble, and then they found that only one statue was left. It could only be one person that could cause this, and that was who? Ibrahim. Come here. And then they summoned Ibrahim to come. And Ibrahim said, I didn't do anything.
I really want to say that I learned a lot, and it told me a lot about the prophets, and it made me it made me think more about all the prophets and all the stories, and it made me think, how should I be a better Muslim, and how should I be like the prophets in those stories.
And then at the end we talked about all of the sad stuff which happened to Bibi Fatima, and then we did Matam, Ziyarat.
Ya Zahra, Ya Zahra, Ya fire to the house that angels visit is brought. They tell him she's inside and he shouts out, so what? With the blood of Zahra, the pledge of Ali sought, between the door and nail, heaven sent his court. Ya Zahra, Ya Zahra, where's your voices? Ya.
I'm here on behalf of Imam Hussein Charity. We're here in Haydari Islamic Centre in South London. One of the ways that Imam Hussein Charity is trying to engage younger children to be able to donate and to really respect the values of gratitude is through this particular project. This campaign is called the Prophetic Voyage. It's essentially a storytelling session from myself where I try to include prophets from the Quran where in a storytelling fashion. It's about half an hour, 45 minutes, very engaging, very interactive for them to, number one, gain lessons from the prophets in the Quran, and number two, understand everything about gratitude and being able to understand the ni'mah, the blessings that they are currently in, and just spare a thought for those who are underprivileged and those who need our help the most.
The global film, The Lady of Heaven, which tells a part of the life of Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam, has received large views during its uploading to its foreign websites concerned with screening cinematic films. The global website, Q Films, said in a due details seen by Shia Waves agency that The Lady of Heaven film was uploaded 2 days ago on the platform to be available to viewers and to those interested in watching historical and cinematic films. It continued that the film has so far garnered high views and downloads, and perhaps the story of the film and its historical events had a great impact on the recipients who long for watching such films. It is considered, according to critics, one of the most prominent cinematic films that have attracted the attention of viewers around the world, as well as those critics and those interested in cinematic art. Despite the counter-campaign that was launched against it and demanded banning its screening, number of cinemas in the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and a number of European and foreign countries screened the film and received great interest from the public and even non-Muslims. The Lady of Heaven film tells aspects of the life of the Prophet's daughter, Sayyidah Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam, during the life of her father and with her husband, the Commander of the Faithful alayhi salam, as well as what happened to her of injustice and aggression during the attack launched against her by the House of the Enemies. We have reached the end of today's Shia Wave show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. British newspaper publishes article of the Holy Arba'een pilgrimage by Iraqi writer. The holy city of Karbala prepares to hold 3rd International Kawthar al-Isma Festival. French Muslims concerned about actions of extreme right-wing groups against Muslims. Mazar al-Sharif based office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi continues its humanitarian activities. Imam Hussein charity fundraising campaign, The Prophetic Voyage. The Lady of Heaven film continues to garner large views on world platforms. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves' website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am the sun, the star at the center of your universe. I am a wondrous threat made of hydrogen and helium.